Heil, honey.
Heil, honey.
Heil, honey.
Heil, honey.
Heil, honey.
Hello.
I'm home.
Hey everyone, Melting Man 234 here, and welcome to another episode of Forgotten Media, where I dig up some stuff you may or may not have heard of. As promised, we'll be taking a look at a very short-lived TV show that was considered to be a bad idea for a TV series called Heil, Honey, I'm Home, a controversial British television sitcom created by Brandon Thalberg Jr. and premiered on Galaxy on September 30th, 1990. The show appeared after an episode of Dad's Army, and the show is as crazy as it sounds. It's a parody off of sitcoms back in the 1950s and 60s like I Love Lucy, Leave It to Beaver, The Honeymooners, and others, as the setting of the show is about Adolf Hitler.
Honey, I'm home!
Yeah, a show about Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun living in a flat next to a Jewish couple. Neil McCall plays Hitler, who was portrayed in a weird way for the show.
Ava, babe, please. I'm the Fuhrer.
Sounds more like Ralph Cramden in a banned World War II short film. Eva, played by Denicia Fairman, who would later be replaced by Maria Friedman, is a chatterbox type from those common sitcoms with a rough edge.
You've got the Prime Minister of England coming over here to the apartment tomorrow, and you don't tell me so I can get something out of the icebox?
The story in the episode is a parody off of the agreement signed by Hitler and British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain. Hitler is inviting Chamberlain for a dinner party, and he wants to make a good impression on him.
I'll show him around the town, we'll have a few beers. He'll forget about Czechoslovakia. He'll think, hey, this Adolf Hitler is a regular guy.
So while he plans for his arrival, he tells Eva not to tell the story to the neighbors, who are the Goldensteins.
If we don't tell them about Chamberlain, how will they know?
Are you kidding? They always know. When I finally get to invade Poland, who'll be the first to know? The Poles? No, Rosa Goldenstein.
While we're on that, let's look at the Goldensteins, a couple who are trying to live their lives living next door to an evil dictator, as they talk about their relative Ruth coming over for a visit. Arnie, played by Garth Marks, is sometimes a slob about things, hanging around with the guys, and usually a pest to Hitler, while Rosa, played by Caroline Gruber, has to deal with her husband on how he is with his ways.
What happened to us? Once we had something so pure, so wonderful, so fresh, Arnie. What happened to it?
You spent it all.
So while Hitler goes off to do some Nazi stuff, Rosa comes in, and like a chatterbox Eva is, she tells Rosa about Neville Chamberlain coming in to visit, even though Hitler told her not to tell them. But they try to keep their mouths closed so that Hitler doesn't know.
Listen, honey, I didn't tell you.
You didn't tell me, honey.
Swear to it.
Swear and promise. May retribution curse my lips, and may all my children not marry somebody in the professional classes.
Right. So instead of keeping the promise, Rosa skips the bit and thinks it's a perfect opportunity for Ruth to finally meet a man who might be interested in her.
Arnie, we should get to meet him.
Why?
You want Ruth should find a nice man so she don't need to stay with us?
No, I want Ruth should drop dead so she won't need to stay.
Hitler finds out that Eva has spilled the beans to the Goldensteins, which will ruin his chance to make a good impression on Chamberlain. But Eva tells him that she plans to make them drunk so that they can drag them out of their flat.
We get the Goldensteins tipsy so they fall asleep. Then we can bundle them back to their apartment. What could be simpler?
The dummy who thought of it.
But after taking 8 or more shots, which is how much I would have if I was watching this, Hitler finds out that Neville Chamberlain has arrived early and goes off to pick him up and hopes the Goldensteins to be gone at that point. So later the two arrive as it seems like Hitler has picked up the screwball of the prime ministers.
I say, Adolf, what would you call a polar bear with 3 balaclavas on?
I don't know, Neville. What do you call a polar bear with 3 balaclavas on?
Anything you like, because it can't hear you.
So while the Goldensteins are still there and still drunk as ever, Hitler and Chamberlain try to talk about an agreement to make sure Hitler doesn't invade Europe.
It's just that I feel, well, we all feel, that you have been rather a naughty boy. All this Czechoslovakia nonsense, eh?
Oh, come on, Neville. It was just having fun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, killing millions of people was just for laughs. Ha ha! So Hitler tries to hide the treaty for peace in our time, Roos shows up to the party, and a drunken Arnie goes off to get some dip and finds the letter with it, as Chamberlain finds out that Hitler was trying to hide the agreement. So to make Chamberlain see that he's a nice guy, Hitler signs the agreement, Chamberlain goes off to be a pedophile with Ruth, and all is well in the end. They had other episodes planned, like one episode has Hitler and Eva try and kill the Goldensteins without them knowing. One episode has Hitler and Arnie sleeping together, which I'm assuming they had trouble with their wives, which explains why they're sleeping out in the middle of the living room. And another episode has Arnie impersonating Hitler. But none of these episodes ever saw the light of day. The show was a huge failure when the first and only episode aired. It was controversial, corny, and not that welcomed. It was placed as number 61 on Channel 4's 100 Greatest TV Moments from Hell. Most of the gags consist of annoying references of events that happened in World War II.
On Monday, you had to meet with Goebbels. On Tuesday, von Ribbentrop. On Wednesday, Klaus Katzenjammer. Who's Klaus Katzenjammer?
He's my tailor.
The characters are just bland copies of characters from other sitcoms. Sure, I know the show is supposed to be a parody of those things, but the way the style of the show is just wrong. The way they portray Adolf Hitler as a good guy is just insulting, as if we were trying to like the guy from all the damage he's caused in the past. Shit, Springtime and Hitler was more enjoyable than this crap. So after only one episode aired, Heil, Honey, I'm Home was cancelled immediately and was never seen again. Nowadays, the show has faded away from existence, and a good thing too. None of the unaired episodes have ever been found to this day. The only way on watching the only episode that aired is on YouTube, since it'll never get a home video release. In closing, Heil, Honey, I'm Home was a failed experiment. Braden Thalberg Jr. thought people would get a kick out of the idea, but all he got in return was a kick in the mouth. Well, that wraps up this episode of Forgotten Media. Next time I'll be doing Mia Pickle's request on the Commander Keen series. So until then, this is Melting Man 234 signing out.
I'm a very, very bad Hitler.